All right, so this is chapter 5 in Azar, and for your notebook, we're going to introduce questions with how, okay? How plus adjective, and then you use a helper verb, subject, and main verb, okay? So it's the same word order as using where or when, but the different idea is we put an adjective after the question word how, okay? So there are different details. Sometimes you need to ask information questions to get these details, like the distance of something, or the height, or the size, the ability, the cost, and what time after now that something happens. So question phrases for distance, how far? For height, how tall? For size, how big? Ability, how well? Cost, how much? And time after now, how soon? Okay. So as a question, as an example of questions, how far is it from Slemani to Kirkuk? That means what's the distance between place number 1 and place number 2? Okay. Or how far is Erbil? Okay. That means from where I am to Erbil. All right. For height, how tall is your friend? How many meters or how many feet? Okay. Size, how big is your house? So here, I'm just describing the noun. Okay, this noun is friend. I'm asking about this noun, Erbil. Okay, so I just use verb be here. How big is your house? Okay, so those three are just using verb be, yeah? Ability is how well can you swim? Or how well does he speak English? Okay, so it's asking, describe the way that they do the action, okay? For cost, it's how much does it cost? How much does the car cost? Okay. Which car? That car, okay? Time after now, how soon will students return to class? Okay. So these are different ways to use how plus adjectives. And so can you match in your notebook? I want you to write that letter that goes with each answer. Write the letter next to the question in the table. Okay, so we'll do A together here. So here are the answers. I can swim pretty well. Okay, so then look at the questions. Okay, it's ability. How well can you swim? So A, I can swim pretty well. All right, so I'm going to put this in the answer. Actually, we'll just put the letter, okay? So can you do the other ones in the table? Copy this table and write the letters in the table. I'll share the answers in after you are finished pausing it, okay? All right, so now here are the answers. How far is it from Slimani to Kirkuk? Oh, I had the letters wrong, sorry. All right. Okay, fixed it. So letter A is I can swim pretty well. Okay, how well can you swim? All right, so fill in the other answers. Let's do this together. So how far is it from Slimani to Kirkuk? Okay, it is 108 kilometers from Slimani to Kirkuk. So that B. Okay. Height. How tall is your friend? Oh, my friend is 2 meters tall. Okay, so that's F. Right. Size. How big? Okay, how big is your house? Oh, E. My house is 3,000 square feet. Okay. I don't know how many square meters that is. You have to help me with that. Okay. Cost. How much does it cost? Oh, C. It costs 3,000 dinar. Something costs 3,000 dinar. Okay. And time after now. How soon will the students return to class? D. Students will return in 3 weeks. Okay. So this is some practice to help you when you want to ask for more details about to describe different nouns, and you can use how to do that. Okay. So now let's look at different other ways to use how. Okay. So we'll do this practice together, and we can use how for frequency. We can say, how often do you go to the bazaar? Frequency. How many times a week do you go? How many times a month do you go? How many times a year do you go to the bazaar? How many times a week do you play tennis? How often do you play tennis? Okay, these are all ways to ask about the frequency of activity. Okay. Next, length of time. Okay, period of time. How long does it take to plus verb? Okay, so how long does it take to drive to Erbil? Okay, so this is a special way to ask how much time it takes. We use the verb take when we ask about the length of time. Okay. And finally, feelings. How plus verb be, or how do you feel? How are you doing? How's it going? And that's for speaking usually. Okay, so let's do the same practice as before. We have the meaning, the information you want, the information question, and the question. And I want you to match the answer with these 3 different meanings, okay? So A, B, and C again, and we're using this table. Put this in your notebook and match with these answers. So pause and you can find out the answers, see if you're right. Okay. All right, here are the answers. I play tennis twice a week. I go to the bazaar once a week. So this is frequency, how often, right? Okay. Length of time, okay, how long It takes 4 hours to drive to Erbil. It takes 1 hour to cook dinner. Okay, so length of time, how long does it take? It takes 4 hours, B. Okay. Feelings, how are you doing? How do you feel? How's it going? All right, so I am great. I am pretty good. I feel good. I feel confused. It's going pretty well. Okay, so asking about feelings, we can use how. And we can use these different ways of asking. Okay, so next on the board, I'm going to put some sentences, and you will write the questions to get these answers. And after you finish the next video, I want you to do set 2 in Azar, exercise 32, 33, 35, 38, 39, 41, and 42. Okay, so keep up to date in your notebook and do the Azar book by yourself, and I will check those when you return. Okay, good luck. Okay, so this video is about using how to ask questions and when you want to describe more information about something. So this is some warm-up for you. When you want to know different details, you can use how plus adjective. Okay, so how plus adjective. All right. So if you want to know the distance between Slimani and your hometown, or the distance between your house and AUIS, okay? Or you want to know the size of your hometown or your friend's hometown. When I say size, I'm talking about how many people, the population, okay? Or you want to know the cost of a bus ride from Slimani to your favorite city, or the cost to buy gas for that trip. Or you want to know the period of time of Corona break, okay? So these are all different details, information that you want to ask. So I have 4 options here. Can you match the how phrase with the meaning? Okay? So I have how far, how long, how much, and how big. In your notebook, copy this table, and I want you to match. If you want to know the distance, which one of these do you use? You want to know the size of something? You want to know the cost? Or you want to know the period of time? Okay? Pause the video and try to write the correct question phrase, question word, with the information that you want. Okay. Here are the answers. The distance, I can use how far. The size of something, you could say how big. Okay. The cost of a bus ride, the cost of something, how much. Okay. And period of time, how long. Okay. And this is how we start the question. So you can see we have adjective after the word how. Now how, question word, how much has a different meaning, okay? But it's about the cost of something. Okay, so in your notebook, can you try to write a question to get this? This is the information that you want. Okay, so I want to know the distance between Slimani and your hometown. So this is practice from before. Okay, so you can try it yourself, pause the video, and then I will share the answers. Okay, so here are the answers. Here are possible answers. How far is your hometown from Slimani? Okay, or you could say, how far is it from Slimani to your hometown? Okay, if I'm going to your hometown, I want to know, how far is it? Okay, so I can use from, that's beginning, to is the destination. Okay, so you can use this pattern. How far is it from blank to blank? Okay, great. So now I want to know, how big is your hometown? How big is your hometown? Okay. You could also, it actually means how many people live there. Okay. So it's not always the area of the town, the city. It could be the number of people. It means how many people. So how big is your hometown, or how many people live there, live in your hometown. Okay. So that's a different meaning of the word of the size of the town. Okay. The cost of a bus ticket. How much does it cost to travel to your hometown? Okay. So in this question, we're using it again as a subject. How far is it? Again, we're using it as a subject, okay? The period of time of the corona break, how long? Does the corona break last? So I have my helper verb, a subject, the corona break, last is the main verb, okay? So to last means to take time. Okay? Or you could say, how long will the corona break last? Or how long will the Corona break take? Okay. It means the same thing, okay? So in your notebook, I want you to write 15 questions using how that you can ask students in the class when you get back, okay? But you want to find out information, and you can use any how questions to get more details about places they live, or how far, how much it costs to travel there. These are questions that you can ask them when you return to class, okay? Okay, so here are some practice writing questions using how. Okay, and so I want you to write this in your notebook, and this is for March 11th, 2020, okay? So I put the answers. Number one, AUIS is very quiet these days. Okay, so the key word is very, all right? And I want to ask a question to get this answer. I'm going to use how. So I can say, for number one, the answer, AUIS is very quiet these days. So I can say how quiet. How quiet is AUIS these days? And because quiet, what part of speech is that? Adjective. Okay, so you know, if you're talking about the adjective quiet, it could be very quiet, a little quiet, okay? And so I'm using how to tell me how much quiet it is. It is very quiet, okay? So, number two, I want to know about the time the Corona break period might last a long time. Okay, so I want to get the answer a long time. So what question do I ask? I can say, how long will the Corona break last? Okay. So again, how plus adjective. Okay. Number three, some students live 250 kilometers away. Okay. So the key word is 250 kilometers. So I want to ask a question. I could say how. I want the distance. Do you remember? How far do some students live? Okay, how far from here? How far do some students live? Okay, that question means from AUIS. All right. Number four, it takes them 6 hours to drive to Slimani. So I have amount of time. So what question can I ask? I can ask, does it take them to drive to a UIS? Okay. So, how long does it take them to drive, right? Number 5, we miss our students a lot. So the key word is a lot. So miss, and I want to know a little, a lot. Okay, so I'm going to use how again. All of these are how questions. How much do we miss our students? Okay, how much? We miss our students a lot. All right. Number 6, they feel confused online sometimes, the students, and sometimes the teachers feel confused online. So what question can I ask? I want to give, this is the key word, confused. It's a feeling, so you remember how with feelings? So how do they feel? Okay, and then different answers. They feel confused, they feel confident, they feel good, they feel relaxed. Okay, so how do they feel? This is one possible answer. All right. Finally, number 7, we will see them after 3 weeks. We will see them after 3 weeks. So 3 weeks after now. So I want to ask how much time after now, but I can use a phrase, how soon will we see them? How soon will we see them? We will see them after 3 weeks, okay? So I hope you can make questions to get different details, and using how is a very important information question type, okay? So I'll give you another practice on the next video. Good luck.